Yes, YouTube, what is going on? We are back with another brilliant brand new episode of UK Prison Stories. Today I've got a bit of news for you, coming straight out of the high security prisons in England. Doesn't say which one, I'm unsure of which one. Prisoner has his ear cut off in Reservoir Dogs style attack in a high security. I've seen it, it was blurred out, but you get the gist of what was going on. A shocking video has emerged showing a prisoner having his ear cut off in a Reservoir Dogs style attack. The mobile footage shows the inmate being tortured with a knife before his ear was severed. The victim was straddled by a much smaller man armed with a knife during the attack. At one point, the attacker calls the victim a little pussy before slashing his face and then repeatedly stabbing him in the back of the head with a knife. During the final moments of the clip, the victim's ear appears to be severed as he screams out in pain. His legs and feet can be seen writhing on the floor as the agonising attack continues. The incident, which took place just a few weeks ago, was witnessed by a group of prisoners, one of whom filmed the incident on a mobile phone. Mobile phones, the gifts that just keep on giving. It reminded me a bit of Reservoir Dogs, except this was real life. This is what happens in prison, said a prison insider. Shock director Quentin Tarantino's debut movie Reservoir Dogs was associated with a gruesome scene when a gangster cuts off a police officer's ear. It's all said the victim agreed to have a straightener, a one-on-one fight, in the high security prison when the attack took place. However, an established criminal had allegedly offered money for the victim to be attacked with a knife. The victim was then lured to a secluded area in the prison for the fight when he was attacked with the prison shank. Prison bosses confirmed the brutal knife attack happened last month but declined to say where the incident took place. Powerful criminals often pay money to gangs to carry out attacks on individuals who upset them. The so-called hits mainly relate to disputes within the drug economy but can relate to other issues too. In some cases, criminals will specify the amount of money they have to offer and what injuries they want the victim to suffer. The most common punishment is for the victim to be slashed across the face, although sometimes the contract will be to blind the victim in one eye. The attackers often use a shank, which is a homemade knife usually comprised of a razor blade and plastic. The blades are melted into the plastic with a flame. Other punishments involve substances such as acid or hot sugary water being thrown into the victim's face. This is known as swilling. I've always known it as jugging. Gang members often carry out the more serious contract violence, but sometimes drug addicts agree to carry out jobs. Today, former Justice Secretary Sir Robert Buckland told the Mail on access to knives and other items such as razors that can be fashioned into weapons has to be more strictly controlled in prisons. I pushed for razors to be banned and was glad to see my successor, Alex Chalk, achieve all that I could to increase funding for prisons. Every step to increase safety must be taken, which very much includes the banning of items which can be turned into weapons. It is happening with razors, and now it needs to happen in the prison kitchens. Of whatever gets banned, prisoners are going to replace with something else, so it doesn't really make that much difference. And if you are in debt, those are the sort of things that happen, or if you have some sort of trouble with someone, that's what happens. In the video, you do actually see that at the beginning the man gets suffocated and he's unconscious when the assault with the deadly weapon does happen. And in the high security jails, people. So, if you don't want that to happen to you, don't commit crime, don't go to prison, and definitely don't end up in the high securities. I should be dealing with people like that. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios.